2 of Paint the Saints. In this series, I make an original painting each episode, highlighting a new saint and sharing their story of how they lived a life dedicated to loving God and others. In today's episode, we will be painting St. Agnes of Rome. She's a very renowned saint who's been venerated in the Catholic Church for a long time and is even mentioned by name in the canon of the Mass. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started with the painting process. St. Agnes was born in about AD 291 during the reign of Roman Emperor Diocletian. It is said that Agnes's parents were of Roman nobility, and she had been raised as a Christian. Now, Agnes had been blessed with a very strong and devout faith, and even made a vow of chastity to God at a young age. As time went on, when Agnes was around the age of 12 to 13, she had attracted numerous suitors of high rank. So let me pause right there and just add a side note. So obviously, many of you may be taken aback by the extreme youngness of her age, and rightly so, to be honest. Although teen marriage was actually quite common in the Roman Empire during this time, 12 years old was actually the minimum age for a girl to get married by law, which does suggest that St. Agnes was obviously very young, even for that time period. I think it's an important note to just think about and digest, especially with all of the current events surrounding sexual assault of minors and how even today her story is unfortunately very relatable to people. Okay, sorry, back to the story. Resolute in her commitment to purity, Agnes rejected the suitors' advances and offers of marriage, allegedly stating that Jesus Christ was her only spouse. Outraged by her rejection, one account states that one of her suitors, a man by the name of Procop, had her brought to his own father, who was a local governor at the time. Although Procop's father urged her to deny Christ, Agnes stayed firm in her conviction and refused to renounce him. Although most writings describing St. Agnes's life and martyrdom share widely similar details, the person who sentenced her to death varies by account. Some accounts state that as her first punishment, she was dragged through the streets naked to a brothel, and while she was being dragged, she began to pray to God. Her hair miraculously began to grow to cover her, and anyone who dared to approach her was struck blind. Some state that afterwards, when she was sentenced to death, it was their intention to burn Agnes at the stake. But when they tried to set her aflame, the fire parted to spare her, or the wood itself refused to burn. As a result of these miraculous events, she was eventually martyred by the sword instead. Regardless of the specific details, what we do know is that St. Agnes was a remarkably faithful young girl who was so committed to Jesus that she suffered immense pain, humiliation, and ultimately death for the sake of her belief in refusing to denounce God. These details are confirmed by St. Ambrose himself, another renowned saint and doctor of the Church who lived during the 4th century. Due to the details of her life and eventual death, St. Agnes is known to be the patron saint of girls, chastity and purity, victims of sexual abuse, and Girl Scouts, to name a few. Her feast day is celebrated each year on January 21st, which is the day of her martyrdom. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If there's a particular saint you would like me to feature in an upcoming video, let me know in the comments. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!